1 in 3 marriages end in divorce, and how many de facto relationships end in separation? Yes, it's not a very good statistic. I actually say to my friends, well, I'm the statistic for you. I've gone through it, so none of you don't have to go through the pain as well. So it's not a pleasant thing. The whole process of actually going through that breakup and separation, there's a lot of emotional issues, there's a lot of pain. It's not an easy thing to actually go through. There's a lot of fighting, there's a lot of arguing. If there's children involved, then there's a whole lot of emotion that is actually going through. Apart from actually splitting up and moving house, splitting up furniture, children, all those issues, you've got the issues of actually dividing your asset pool. So who's going to get what? So you might have a house, car, furniture, bank accounts, investments, whatever you've got. There's a lovely big piece of the pie, but there's 2 people that want their piece of that pie. And entails a lovely fight on how big is your piece of pie going to be. I recall when I was going through the process that, you're sorting things out, who's going to get the dryer, who's going to get the washing machine, and through this process all the good wine was hidden, couldn't find it, and the icing on the cake came when I couldn't find the toilet brush. Through all this, at the end of the day, where's the toilet brush? You think, how ridiculous. So through this process, whether it's actually a divorce or a separation of someone that you've been in a relationship with, there's a change. You've got one big piece of the pie, and you're trying to divide it up on who's going to get what. You go through all that emotional anguish. You then come through it, and you've gone from this one big lovely big pie, one big pot. You come through it and you've got your piece. Okay, there's argument over how much, but you've got your piece, and you sit down and you go, right, take a sigh of relief. I've gone through those issues. Now I've got my piece of the pie, and it doesn't matter how big that piece of the pie is. And we've seen clients that have ended up with $100,000, $50,000, and clients that have ended up with $7 million. The one question that everyone asks is, oh my goodness, what the hell am I going to do now? I've got this piece of pie, what the hell am I going to do now? And as I said, whether that piece of the pie is $100,000, $50,000, or it's $7 million, everyone has the same issue. What am I going to do now? You've gone through a very big change where there was 2 of you. 2 of you contributing to the household, 2 of you working together towards your financial future. Back over here, you've got a smaller piece of the pie and there's only one. So there's only one of you contributing. There's only one of you contributing to that financial future, and one of you there to make decisions on what am I going to do now. So not only this question that needs to be issued of what the hell am I going to do with my piece of pie, there's a whole lot of other issues that actually needs to be raised. As I said, you've gone from a situation where there's 2 people together looking at a joint financial future or a joint future together. What are we going to do when we retire? Where are we going to live? What sort of investments are we going to have? What's that future going to look like? You've done that together with someone. Now over here, it's a whole different situation. There's you on your own. Whether there's children involved or no children involved, there's you. So it is a total now change in circumstances. You're going to have a different view of what you would like to happen in the future. So there needs to be a whole rethink of your strategy. You had one strategy over here. Now there's a whole new rethink and a new change that you need to put in place, and a new strategy that needs to be put in place. And look, in one way that's exciting. You've gone from here, that's behind you. Here you are, you've got a new future in ahead of you. Let's get a new plan in place. This is what I want to do. You might have been hamstrung before. Well, this is my future, this is what I'm going to plan for it. Now, as I say, we think, well, what am I going to do with what I've got left over? And you start thinking about those issues, but there's a whole lot of other issues that actually need to be addressed. One thing that people don't think about is, say, their will. A will is actually nullified on divorce. So after divorce, well, you don't have a will anymore. And that's a very important thing that needs to be addressed and looked at, and a new will established. In a separation, you may have gone and got your wills updated together. So even though you weren't married, you've got to go back and rethink that will and, well, you know, is this what I had before really what I want in place now? You've got a whole lot of other issues too of, well, okay, what do I want my retirement to look like? How long do I want to work? Do I want to set up and run my own business? It's one thing I did after separation. I went back to work and thought, oh, I've done this for so long, you know, I'd like to try a change. You know, I've gone through all that pain and separation, I can do anything. Went out and set up my own business. And so there's all these different issues and different questions that are coming up. What about, well, I'm on my own now, and look, I had a young child. And I started thinking, what's going to happen if I can't work? What am I going to do if I can't work? Who's going to pay the rent? Who's going to pay the bills? Who's going to put food on the table? Another issue that a lot of people don't actually consider. I want my child to go to private school. How am I going to pay for that private schooling? I'd like to build investments. I'd like to start a business. How do I actually do that?